Okay, so once you've done that, we'll just take our time, just come onto your mat. So we're just going to lie down today. Just take your time moving down. And you can lie in any position, so any kind of comfortable position. So legs long, knees bent, whatever feels right. So once you get yourself comfortable, just taking a few moments, just coming away from your day, starting to draw your attention inwards. Just starting to follow your breath, just as it moves in through your nose, along the back of your throat, and then down into your belly. Allowing the breath just to smooth out naturally. As your breath begins to even out, starting to notice your body, just noticing areas of tightness or tension, and try and allow that just to let go. So in today's class, we're going to do a Yin Yang class. So Yin, traditionally much slower moving, holding postures for longer. And the postures themselves tend to be quite passive, so we're not kind of clinging or holding on to tension as we do them. Whereas a Yang practice is a little bit quicker, tends to be a little bit more energetic. We tend to hold the postures for a little bit shorter length of time. So in the class, we're just going to mix the two types of postures and just see how they feel in your body and also how they make you feel. So start to move a little bit. So you can move your fingers and your toes. Maybe start to bend your knees. Either have your feet on the ground or knees to your chest. So we are going to come up to sitting. So if you like to roll over onto your side, then you can do that. Or if you just want to take your hands behind the back of your thighs and roll up, then do that. But whatever means you use to come up. So when we come up, we're going to sit in Sukhasana, so our easy pose. So you could grab a block if you like, or sit on top of a blanket, or sitting in any other way if that doesn't quite suit you. And then try and relax your shoulders down your back. So Yin Yang kind of indicates a duality of really everything. Everything has this kind of yin yang in it, which really instills in us a sense of balance. So we're going to do a little uneven, balanced breathing to start today. So you might want to take your right hand just palm up, and then just the left hand just palm up on top of it. So just create this little gesture of receiving and acceptance. And then you can either close your eyes or you can just lower your gaze. And we're going to start with Samavriti. So that's our even breath. Just when you're ready, just inhaling maybe for a count of 4 and exhaling for a count of 4. And if that 4 doesn't suit you, then you can either slow down your count or increase the count. So our breathing practice today is called Vishamavrita, and it means an uneven inhale. So we're going to increase the inhale, but we're going to keep the exhale at 4. So maybe start just by breathing in for 5 and still exhaling for 4. Just do that again, just see how that feels. And then maybe the next time you inhale for a count of 6, just taking your time, still exhaling for 4. And just see how that makes you feel. And then if you'd like to increase it more, you could either increase the inhale to maybe 7 or 8. And still exhale for 4. comes forced in any way, then reduce the inhale. We'll do that one more time, so take your time. And then just move back to a more even breath. So just inhaling and exhaling. Just keep it nice and even. You can either stay with this deep inhale through your nose or maybe move into your ujjayi breath. So just creating a little constriction at the back of your throat, adding a little texture to your breath. Whatever suits you. When you're ready, we're going to open the eyes. We'll release the hands. We're going to start to move a little bit here, so you can keep that breath or move into your ujjayi breath. It's your choice. We'll take your hands just onto your shoulders. We're just going to start to warm up through your shoulders. So just start to circle around through your elbows. Again, just see how that feels. Keep your breath nice and smooth as you do it. See how your shoulders feel. When you're ready, we'll change directions, just moving the opposite way. And keep your spine nice and long. Okay, we'll make our way back to the middle. We'll change the cross of your legs, so bring your other leg in front. And then from here, we are going to come back up with the hands on the shoulders. This is the move from Kundalini Yoga, and it's really to warm up through the center of your body. So we're just going to start just rotating gently round towards the right, and then round towards the left. So the idea with this move is that we start to increase the speed of it, but we also change the breathing. So here we're going to inhale through your nose and then breathe out quite forcefully through your mouth. So when you're ready, we'll start to move a little bit brisker, and then in and out. And you can move as fast as you like to here, but try and keep yourself nice and upright. Try and keep that breath. And it really does start to warm you up here. So take your time. Be gentle with your spine. Now, when you're ready, we'll start to slow it down. So just take your time, there's no rush. And then make your way back in towards the center. We'll release the arms then. Okay, from there, we're going to move to an all fours position. So you can just start to make your way forwards. As you come into this all fours, we're going to spread the hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. We'll just do a few cat-cow movements first. So on the inhale, just dropping the belly down, start to pull forwards through your chest. On the exhale, draw your belly in, so rounding through your back. So do that again, matching your breath and your movement as you do that. And when you're ready, on your next inhale, we're just going to move back. So we're coming into a more neutral position. And then from there, we're going to move into a wide leg child's pose. So if you move your knees maybe out towards the sides of your mat, bring your feet together and then start to press your hips back. So just nice and gently, you can release down towards the mat. So again, in this more yin type pose, we try and release tension. So relax through your shoulders, relax through your head. You can even use a block for your head if that helps. So from this really yin posture, we're going to create a little bit yang in this posture by stretching our arms a little bit further away, and start to then feel a stretch across your shoulders. And then if you want to, we're going to take your right arm underneath your left arm, so you can lay down onto that right shoulder. Maybe either stretch your right fingertips away or lift your right arm up, left arm even, and drop it behind your back. So you can grab hold maybe of your t-shirt, maybe of your hip. But again, just see how it feels. It was kind of yang for a moment, and then it's coming back into that feeling of yin, where we're just relaxing, so we're not trying to get anywhere. Okay, when you're ready, we'll release the left hand, just bring it in front of your face. Start to press yourself back up again, and then walk both hands back in front. So we'll do the same thing with your left arm, taking your left arm underneath your right. Lay down on that left shoulder. Maybe stretch your right fingertips away, or lift through your right hand and drop the elbow and the arm behind your back. So traditionally in a yin practice, we'd be holding these postures for between kind of 5 and 15 minutes, but we're not doing that today. We're just holding them for a little bit longer than we would if it was kind of a more yang type pose. Okay, when you're ready, we'll slowly start to release your right hand. Again, bring it in front of your face, and then we'll start to press yourself up again. So we'll come back forwards into that all fours position. So drawing your belly up and in. A little bit more yang now. So when you're ready, on an inhale, we're going to extend your right leg behind you. So just stretch it away. On the exhale, we'll draw the knee in towards your chest, so rounding through your upper back as you do that. Do that again. So inhale, extend and lengthen through the leg. As you exhale, draw it back in. If that's enough for you, you can stay with that. Otherwise, extend the leg away on the inhale. And then on the exhale, if you'd like, we're going to take a little push up. So we move forwards a little bit. We bend at the elbows, lower down, maybe halfway. Inhale to rise, back up again. So on the exhale, draw your knee in, round through your back. On the inhale, lengthen and stretch the leg behind you. As you exhale, moving forward, that little bend through your elbows. And inhale, press back up. Okay, we'll do that one more time. And bear in mind that you can always leave out the yang, or the more yang part of it is all pretty yang. But that push up, if you want to leave it out, then just leave it out. Okay, when you come back up, we'll lower the knee towards the ground. And then you can just press back to a child's pose for a moment. So just relaxing there. Again, just start to see how the different styles affect you and how you feel about them when you're doing them. Okay, we'll move back in, so coming back up to that all fours position. So again, spread your hands, knees underneath your hips, belly drawn in. As you inhale, lengthen and stretch through your left leg. And then on that exhale, draw the knee in, round your back. And that again, so lengthen and stretch away through the leg. And then draw it all back in. So again, please feel free just to stay with this. Otherwise, inhale to stretch away. And on the exhale, moving forwards, bend the elbows, even just a tiny little bit. You don't have to bend all the way down. Exhale to lift. So draw the knee in, round your back. Inhale, lengthen and stretch away. Exhale, move forwards, bend your elbows. Rise back up. Okay, we'll do that one more time, so take your time. Okay, when you come back up, we'll just lower the knee back down. Start to make your way back into that child's pose once more. Okay, when you're ready, we'll move back up again, so back into this all fours position. Now this time we're going to step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. So if you step your foot forwards, we're coming in for a lizard pose, which is a yin posture, although sometimes it doesn't always feel that yin. But if you have your right foot to the outside of your right hand, maybe slide your left leg a little bit further away. Now with your right foot, you can either keep it so it's kind of straight on. You can turn the toes out, so you turn the toes away from you a little bit more. Or you could come to the outer edge of your right foot, so just see how that feels. And then if you want to, you could have blocks here and build the blocks up. You could also just slightly bend your elbows, so you could just lower down a little bit. Or maybe if you feel like it, lower yourself all the way to the ground, so coming down onto your forearms. Again, without forcing it or feeling that you have to get there. And the idea with yin is that it's passive, which means that when you're there, you shouldn't feel strain. So if you feel that you're kind of really having to work hard to get into the posture, then maybe you need to back out of it a little bit. So it should feel like you're kind of just there and gravity's working rather than you having to work hard through your body for it. So as muscles work, they won't actually work very well against any feelings of tension. So we need to try and soften really everywhere in our bodies to try and allow the muscles to then stretch a little bit. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. When you're ready, if you are down on your forearms, start to walk yourself back up. And if you've got blocks there, you might want to move them out of the way and walk your right foot back in towards the center. So it's between your hands now. And then from there, we'll tuck the toes under and lift through your back knee. And then from there, we're going to step back, downward facing dog. As you come into this first down dog, you might want to move a little bit, so pedal your feet. And it is a pretty yang posture, so we have to work hard at it. So spreading your fingers, pushing up and out of your shoulders, drawing your belly in. Now for the next bit, you have a little choice here. So you can either go back to a more yin thing, lift your heels, lower your knees, and just move back into child's pose. So that would be option one. Option two, from that down dog, on the inhale, you're going to move forwards into a plank position. And on the exhale, we're going to lower your knees and then bend your elbows and lower yourself to the ground. As you inhale, draw the shoulders back, so lift through your chest a little bit. On the exhale, just lower all the way down. As you inhale, start to press up. So you're just coming up onto your knees here. And then on the exhale, we'll press back into that child's pose. For the whole of that then, you could have just stayed in child's pose. So do make choices that suit you. And if it suits you to have stayed in child's pose, then as we do this throughout the class, then you can make that choice. Okay, when you're ready, we'll move back into just to the all fours position. So bringing yourself back up. And then from there, we'll step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. So just stepping it forwards. Again, keeping your toes facing forwards is a choice, or turning your toes out. They kind of come at an angle. Or maybe you flip to the outer edge of your foot. Maybe you slide your back leg a little bit further back. So, all of these things you can do or choose not to do. And then from there, either just bend your elbows a little bit, maybe just hang about here. Use your blocks, maybe lower your arms to your blocks, or maybe lower your arms to the ground. Just see how it feels. Wherever you are, try and feel like you're not gripping, but you're softening. And the breath will help here, so try and keep your mind on the breath. And the breath long and relaxed as well. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. We'll start to move back up. So take your time, using your hands, press yourself up. Release your toes down if they're lifted and start to walk your left foot towards the center once more. So your hands either side. Good. From there, we'll tuck the toes, we'll lift through your back knee, and we'll step back, downward facing dog. So once more, as you come into this down dog, maybe you still make a little bit of movement, really anything that helps you. So again, your choice. On the inhale, maybe lift your heels and just lower your knees and come back into that child's pose. And you can just wait for us to join you. Otherwise, on the inhale, move forwards into that plank position. As you exhale, lower your knees down, bend your elbows, lower all the way to the ground. As you inhale, draw your shoulders back, lift your chest. On the exhale, release all the way back down. As you inhale, start to press up. So just onto all fours, and then move your hips back towards your heels and relax there. When you're ready, on your next inhale, I'm just going to move forwards again, so just into that all fours position. When you come in here, this time we will tuck the toes and lift your hips to down dog, so take your time. Still making any little movements that you want to when you get there. On your next inhale, we're going to lift the heels up, and we're just going to walk with your feet just up towards your hands, so take your time. When you get there, just fold towards your legs, so separating your feet. Let the body fold in, draw your belly in a little bit, let the arms dangle or place them on your legs, if that feels better. And then when you're ready, on an inhale, we'll lengthen forward, so stretching through your spine. As you exhale, fold back in. On the inhale, reach up, rise all the way up, and bring the palms together in front of your heart. Inhale to reach. Exhale to fold. Lengthen on the inhale. Hold back in on the exhale. As you inhale, reach up. Exhale, palms meet the heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Lengthen on the inhale. Fold in on the exhale. Inhale to reach. Exhale, palms meet the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Lengthen on the inhale. Fold in on the exhale. As you inhale, reach up. Hands meet the heart. Okay, we'll do that one more time. So inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Lengthen on the inhale. This time on the exhale, we're going to step back with your right leg. So again, when you get back with that right leg, you can either keep the knee lifted or you can lower the knee down towards the ground. So it's your choice. From there, we're going to lift the arms up. So you're either here and the arms lift, or you've got your knee lifted off the ground and your arms lift. So just see where it feels like the best position for you to be. So in this either high crescent lunge or the low crescent lunge, you've got your hips facing forwards, the belly in, the shoulders nice and relaxed. We'll take one more deep inhale. And then from here, we'll release the hands back down towards the ground. So again, if you've got your back knee on the ground, then you can lift it up and we'll step back to down dog. So when you get to down dog, again, making that same choice, you can lift your heels, lower your knees and move to child's pose. Otherwise, on the inhale, float forwards into that plank position. Knees down if you like, or bend your elbows halfway to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing or cobra. Exhale, make your way back, downward facing dog. When you're ready, we'll lift the heels, lower the knees, And move back into that child's pose. Just take a rest there. And again, you could stay there rather than doing that little vinyasa. So it's your choice, making it more on the yin side, more on the yang side. Okay, when you're ready, we'll start to make our way back up. So take your time, coming forwards, just into that all fours position again. From here, we'll tuck the toes and lift the hips to downward facing dog. And then from here, we'll lift the heels, looking forwards, either step or take a little walk up towards the top of your mat. Take your time. Fold in. And then on the inhale, lengthen, so stretching through your spine. Exhale, folding back in. As you inhale, reach up. And on the exhale, palms meet the hand. Okay, we'll do that on the other side. So when you're ready, inhale to reach. Exhale to fold. Lengthening on the inhale. And on the exhale, we'll step back with your left leg. So hands down, step back. And again, please feel free to lower the back knee down and then just lift the arms up. Otherwise, keep your back knee lifted up off the ground. Pull your belly in and lift your arms up. And just see how it all feels. If you bend that back knee, if you'd like. Good. So up on the ball of the foot of the toes. Soften through your shoulders. Lift through the pelvic floor and draw the belly in a little. Good. Take one more deep inhale. Release the hands down towards the ground. So if you've got your back knee on the ground, lift it up. And then step back, downward facing dog. Okay, so again, from here, if you'd like to, you could just lift your heels, lower the knees, make your way back into that child's pose. Otherwise, inhale forwards to plank, lowering the knees if you'd like, or bend your elbows halfway to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing or cobra. Exhale, make your way back, downward facing dog. And from there, we'll lift the heels up, lower your knees, and make your way back into child's pose. Just taking a moment as you're there, just to notice how you feel, how your body feels in these more yang type postures. The Chinese culture believes that everything, every object, every animate or inanimate object has these properties, this duality of yin and yang, which can mean dark and light, it can mean masculine and feminine. It's all sorts of kind of images that we can bring to mind to describe them. Okay, when you're ready, we'll start to move back up. So taking your time, come up to that all fours position. When you get there, we'll tuck the toes and we'll lift the hips to downward facing dog. When you're ready, we'll lift your heels, looking forwards, either step or walk towards the top of your mat, so take your time. Holding in towards your legs for a moment. On the inhale, lengthen. And on the exhale, folding back in. As you inhale, reach up. And on the exhale, draw the palms towards your heart. Okay, we're going to do some balance now. We are going to do standing splits today. I should have said to you earlier, but if you've got a couple of blocks that would be really handy, you could grab them and use them. If you don't want to do the full standing splits, don't worry about it. I will give you some options and you can just use that. So if you are using your blocks, you're going to bring them just to the top of your mat and just have them kind of either side. If you separate your feet hip distance, then you want the blocks hip distance apart, just slightly in front of you. In fact, I'll grab bang so you can see, but when you're doing it, you can have your blocks at any height, and you can always change your height once you're there as well. So with the blocks here, one of the easier ways to coming into it is to just have your feet hip distance, and then just bend your knees and place your hands on your blocks. And then you can maybe see if they're too high or too low once you're there. If they feel too low, then move them up a notch. But if you've got your hands on the ground, just maybe up onto your fingertips to start. So we'll stand on your right leg. We'll start to lift that left leg up. Again, you can always drop it back down if you feel that you want to, and keep the front leg bent until you get into it. So draw your belly in, start to lift through your leg. You don't want to lift it too high. As soon as you start lifting it really high, you misalign your hips. So keep your hips balanced. And then from there, maybe start to straighten through the front leg. Just see how that goes. If you want to keep it bent, it feels better bent, then do that. If you do have your hands on the ground and you want a little bit more of a challenge, you could take your hand, so one of your hands, just to the ankle on your standing leg, and then maybe take your other hand, but just see how that goes. You don't have to force it. Okay, when you're ready, we'll come out of it by taking your hands back to the ground if you've got them on your leg. And then to come out of it, it's a bit like a seesaw. So your leg comes down at the same time, draw your belly in and lift your body up and put your feet on the ground. Hands together. Maybe close your eyes to see how that feels in your body. Again, we're not trying to go really high with the standing, with the leg that you're lifting. Okay, we'll try the other side. So again, align your blocks, align your feet, draw your belly in, and then just start to bend your knees, and then just start to place your hands on the blocks or on the floor. So we'll lift through the other leg. So again, keep your standing leg bent, start to lift through that other leg. So take it up just a little bit. You can always pop it back down if you feel that you want to. And then lifting it up, maybe start to work on straightening the standing leg a little bit. If you feel it's better to keep it bent, then definitely do that. And then if you want a little bit more, maybe transferring one hand just onto that leg, the standing leg, maybe taking the other hand, but just see how it feels. Always popping the hands back down again if you need to. Okay, when you're ready, place both hands back on the ground or on your blocks. We'll start to come back up again. So we'll draw the belly in, start to lift through the upper body, lower through your leg. Okay, bring your feet back together, hands together, and close your eyes. And just notice the sensations that are created. That's pretty yang in nature and that balance. So well done. Okay, we'll release the hands, we'll open the eyes. We are going to come in and do some standing postures now, and you will have the opportunity, if that's the right word, to do that standing balance again. If you don't want to do the standing splits, then you can just stay in a high lunge. If you're going to do it, just make sure your blocks are positioned in front of you at the top of your mat, so you've got easy access to them. So we'll stand at the top of your mat, again with the shoulders drawing back, the belly pulling in. So just that little half sun style to come into it. So as you inhale, we'll reach up with the arms, so maybe looking at your thumbs. On the exhale, start to fold towards your legs, so bending into your knees. As you inhale here, lengthen, so stretch your spine. And on the exhale, we'll take the hands back down, we'll step back with your right leg, and we're moving into warrior one. So the heel goes down, the toes of the front leg are forward, and then rise up into that warrior one position. Good. And again, try to keep your balance. So between your front leg and your back leg is nice and balanced. The shoulders are relaxed. And remember, the hips are trying to rotate round towards the front. Don't worry too much about the hips. Think more of your shoulders going round towards the front, and then relax through your shoulders. Good. And really press through the outer edge of your back foot. You will get quite a strong stretch through the calf of that leg, and that's really the muscle that we're trying to stretch out a little bit more here. Okay, when you're ready, on your next inhale, we're just going to move and open to warrior two. So take your time, just moving around through your body. Maybe you turn the toes of your right leg towards the long edge of your mat. Maybe you have to realign your feet a little bit or widen them, which is absolutely fine. So stretch through your fingertips, open up through your chest a little bit more. Good, align the arms. And remember, we're trying to open the hips here. So we're pulling back a little bit on that left knee and drawing the right hip open a little bit more. So a little bit more of the yang in nature here. So it's not as passive. We're having to work hard through all of the muscles to maintain this. Now we're going to move to side angles. So if you'd like to, you could just take your left forearm, just lay it onto that left thigh, and then maybe just stretch your right fingertips. So we're trying to get that long kind of diagonal line from the back of your right foot all the way up through the right fingertips. So try not to let it kind of drop down at the end, but keep stretching through it. If you wanted to, you could grab a block here and place it just to the inside of that front foot, or take your hand down. But you need to keep that angle going so it's not kind of then dropping down a little bit. You don't want to be kind of coming towards the floor. So rotate the chest a little bit. Good, breathe. So keep an eye on your breathing. Make sure it's still smooth. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. From here, start to draw yourself back up. So pull your belly in, move to warrior two for a breath, and then just release your hands down. Now we are going to come into a high lunge here. So if your back foot's really far back, maybe hop it in a little bit first, and then turn on the toes of that right foot. So you're coming into this high crescent lunge that we did before, to maybe reach your arms up. Now, option to stay here. So if you don't want to move into standing splits again, you're going to stay in this high crescent lunge and just work there. Otherwise, taking your hands down either to the blocks or to the floor, we push into the front leg and then lift up through your back leg. Again, just see how that feels. You can always pop it back down again if you'd like to. And again, see how it feels the second time through. Sometimes it feels a little bit different, maybe easier, maybe harder. You can always keep the front leg bent. You can always keep your hands on the ground or on the blocks. Okay, so with the hands on the ground, we're going to stretch back now with your right leg. So reaching back, we're coming back into that high crescent lunge. So the toes go down. And as you inhale, the body lifts back up again. Okay, very nice. Okay, from here, we are going to come back down with your hands, but we're not coming back into standing splits. But we'll take your hands down just towards the ground and then step back to downward facing dog. So again, the same options apply here when you come into this down dog. You could move to a child's pose. So you could just lift your heels up, lower down into that child's pose. Or if you'd like, on the inhale, we'll float forwards again into that plank position. So knees up or down, lower down towards that chaturanga, the halfway. Inhale, upward facing or cobra. Exhale, make your way back, downward facing dog. Good. Okay, from there, we will lift the heels, lower your knees, and just move back into that child's pose. Have a little rest for a moment. And just see how that side of your body feels in comparison to the other. Okay, we'll make our way back up. We're going to try the other side. So slowly come back up. So maybe just to all fours first. From there, start to tuck your toes and lift your hips to down dog. From there, lift your heels looking forwards, either step or walk towards the top of your mat. So separating your feet, folding in towards your legs. As you inhale, lengthen, so stretch through your spine. On the exhale, just folding back in. As you inhale, reach up. And on the exhale, palms near the heart. Okay, so we'll try the other side. So when you're ready, on the inhale, reach up with the arms. Exhale to fold. Lengthen forwards on the inhale. On the exhale, we'll take the hands back down. We'll step back with your left leg. So we're coming into warrior one on that left side. So the heels are down, front leg is bent. Start to reach up and rise up with the hands. Again, just take it to where it feels right to you, holding it in that position. Good, relax the shoulders. Breathing deeply, well done. And start to feel the balance in the posture. Okay, from here, we'll open up to warrior two. So take your time moving around. Again, adjusting your feet, making your way in to your position in warrior two and finding that position that's just right for you. Open up through your chest a little bit more. Look on your front hand. And align your breath. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to move into side angle once more. So moving forward, maybe taking that right forearm down towards the leg, reaching up and over through your left fingertips. Maybe you take that hand down to a block of the floor and reach over, but still keeping that alignment through the body. Good, very nice. Keep the chest rotating. Good, feel the stretch. So it's a side intense stretch. So we want to feel that intensity through the side of our body. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. We'll start to move up. So draw your belly in, lift back up. So again, just moving to warrior two first of all, and then we'll release the hands. So again, we're coming into that high lunge. So if your back leg's too far back for you, hop it in a little bit. Turn through the toes of your back leg. So realign your hips and your shoulders towards the front. Maybe reach the arms up. Just see how that feels. So once again, you can just stay here. If you'd like to come in for these standing splits again, then taking your hands down towards the blocks, towards the floor, start to press into that front leg so it's quite strong, and then push and lift through your back leg. Again, to any height, so you can always pop it back down. Maybe start to straighten through your front leg a little bit. Good, align your hips. Very nice. Maybe moving your hands towards the leg, but just if it feels right. Did you have a question, Marjorie? So, Marjorie's iPad raised hand. I thought you were asking me for something. Okay, so we're going to come back out a bit. So to do this, place your hands on the ground, reach back now with that left leg, left toes touch the ground, and then start to draw your belly in and lift back up into that crescent lunge once more. Good. Well done. Okay, from there, we'll release the hands down. So again, we're coming into our downward facing dog now with the hands down. So we'll step back into down dog. And then everybody this time will lift the heels, we'll lower the knees. We're just going to move into our child's pose. Just take your time moving back, relax everything. When you're ready, we'll slowly start to come back up. So you can come up onto your hands, walk your hands back towards your legs. And then we're just going to swing the legs round. So you can just come round towards the front. So as you come in, we're going to come in to Baddha Konasana. So we did Baddha Konasana last week, but we had it as a fairly kind of generous version. So whereas this time, we're going to bring the feet in. You could, if you've got a block, you could bring the block between your feet, and then you've just got then something to use to press the legs against and maybe try and open the legs a little bit more. But if you want to keep it fairly yin, then just don't bother doing that. So you can take hold of your feet. You can start to move your hips closer towards your legs, towards your feet if you want to, but just keep it at a position that suits you. I apologise for the dog. Somebody's on the doorbell. Just saying that. So relax the head down. Again, use your elbows here if you like. Just opening up through the hips a bit more. But try and still find that softness in it. Find your breath. Okay, we'll take one more inhale here. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly start to come back up. So just releasing your feet. Maybe take your legs a little bit wider. So we're going to come in for a wide-legged kind of twisting posture here. So if you sit up, so you're up on your sit bones. If you do want to sit in a block, you could do that as well. So this next posture is fairly yin, but we're going to create a little bit of yang at the beginning of it through our arms and through our upper body. So again, please feel free to bend your knees here. Just work with what feels right to you. We're going to interlink your fingers. So if you just bring your hands, just interlink your fingers, and I'm going to lift the hands up. And as you do that, your palms are facing down. If you want a little bit more, just turn the palms up towards the ceiling. But just see how that goes. Does it feel right? Then keep them facing down. Relax your shoulders. Try and lift and lengthen through the side body. As you inhale, we're going to move round, so towards the right leg. So just rotate round a little bit. Okay, we'll take one more inhale here. And then slowly release your hands. And then just release yourself down. So you might just fold towards that leg. Maybe just your hands go on the ground. Maybe you can come down. So we're not trying to get hold of the foot at all. We're just relaxing the arms either side. So trying to be more relaxed about it rather than gripping and trying to get anywhere. So if you can soften down to your forearms, but just see how it feels to you. Keep pressing down on your left hip bone, so try not to let that lift up off the ground in order to get further forwards. If you'd like, you can just simply stay here. If you want to come in for more of a twist, then your left hand is going to lift up and go over the top of your right leg. Again, just see how that feels. It will bring it more into the side body and a little bit more into the side of your hip. If it feels too much, then release it back. Okay, we'll slowly release to come back up again. So come back towards the center once more. So we'll do that on the other side. So we'll interlink your fingers. Maybe you change and take one finger up. So it's slightly different. Maybe not. Just at least keep it the same. And then as you inhale, start to lift the arms up again. Again, keep the palms down or maybe turn so the palms are up. It's a little stretch to your wrists as well. So really quite yang in nature. We're having to do quite a lot through the muscles of our body to keep ourselves upright. Okay, take one more inhale. And then start to move round so towards that left leg. So keep reaching with your arms, keep lengthening through the side body. Okay, one more breath. And then release down. Releasing down into that more yin posture. Fingertips or hands on the ground. Just whatever you can without forcing. Keep pressing down gently through your right hip bone. Relax the head. So either stay here or lift your right hand up and take it over the top of that left leg. And you see how that feels, how it changes the stretch. Okay, when you're ready, we'll slowly release to start to walk your hands back up again. Take your time. And then from there, bring your legs towards the front. So just ease them out a little bit. So we will come in for forward folds, but we're going to come in for Paschimottanasana. So we'll keep our legs either together or a little bit apart. You can bend your knees or straighten your legs. You could use a strap here, as it's kind of more in. I would just suggest that you're just folding in. So when you're ready, if you'd like to, you can inhale to reach up and exhale to fold. Or maybe you just fold in towards your legs. And again, bend your knees a lot here if you need to. Take your hands either on your legs, your ankles, maybe on your feet, without being kind of grippy about it or trying to pull yourself anywhere. Try just to soften and relax into it, just accepting where you are. Okay, when you're ready, we'll slowly come back up again. So take your time, moving yourself back up. Okay, we are going to come onto your mat. So again, you can make it more yin and just use your hands and relax down. Or maybe you want a little bit more of that yang. So we're going to have your legs straight, reach your arms forwards. And then as you breathe out, we're going to slowly and carefully roll all the way back down. Just take your time, see how it feels. Well done. Okay, when you come back down, relax here for a moment and then bend your knees. So you're going to have your feet flat on the ground, but we're going to take your feet pretty wide here. So if you widen your feet a little bit more, you are coming in for a twist. So you might want to spread your arms out. Deep breath in, and then as you breathe out, we'll just drop both legs over to the right. So as you do that, you could just simply stay here. Maybe turn your head to the left. If you want a little more, you could lift your right foot up and then place it either on your left knee or your left thigh. And that just helps to then add a little bit of weight and draw that hip open a little bit more. Okay, we'll slowly release that. So releasing your legs, bring them back to the middle. Maybe you move your feet so you can lift your hips up. So widen the legs again. And then as you inhale, lower the legs over towards the left. So again, either just stay here or maybe lift your left foot up, place it on top of your right knee or your right thigh, and let it draw that hip a little bit more. Okay, when you're ready, slowly release the foot. Bring yourself back in towards the center. This time you have your feet about hip distance apart. So we're going to take a little bridge here. So as you inhale, maybe have your hands down by your sides, palms facing up, and then start to press through your feet, start to lift your hips up off the ground. So to any level here, so you can move up a little bit higher if you want to, or stay where you are. If you're on your shoulders, maybe start to move the shoulder blades underneath your back. Maybe clasp your hands, but without feeling you have to do anything. When you're ready, slowly release your hands if you have them clasped. Slowly lower yourself back down. Maybe this time just draw your knees in towards your chest. And take any little movements that you'd like, so forwards and back, side to side. And if you do want to, you could take yourself so that you've got your socks or jumpers on. So we are going to come into Shavasana, so our final kind of yin little posture here. So do grab some stuff if you like. So we're going to do a little yin yang meditation today. So take your time though, just getting yourself organized. So just making your way just into a comfortable position. Start to be aware of your breath. I'm going to start this meditation with 3 deep breaths. So typically we begin meditations in this way. The inhaling of the breath is yang. It expands the lungs and oxygenates the body. The exhaling breath is yin energy. It contracts and becomes denser with the release of the breath. To activate the yin energy, envision the yin as dark, heavy energy residing in the lower part of your body. With each breath you inhale, send the breath to fill the lower abdominal region and exhale it down your legs and to your feet. Continue with this rhythm until your body feels weighted down and grounded by the yin energy. When you reach this sensation, you've activated the yin energy in your body. You're now connected to the earth energy. The second part of the meditation focuses on drawing in white light energy through the crown chakra, so the top of your head. This white light is drawn in with the breath and gradually moves through the upper region of your body to the abdomen. Once you feel the lightness filling your upper body, you'll have activated the yang energy. You're now connected to the heaven and the skies. The final step is to reunite the 2 activated energies of earth and sky. This requires sending the yang energy down your body to blend with the yin energy through inhaling and exhaling. You then send the blended yin yang energy throughout your body. Continue this process until you feel that both energies are equally balanced, that you feel present, you feel grounded, you feel relaxed. When you're ready, we'll take a deep inhale through your nose. And then this time, we're just going to sigh it out your mouth. Just let it go. And then we'll start to move a little bit. So just through your fingers and through your toes. Maybe stretching your arms overhead, stretching all the way down to your feet. As you bring your arms over, maybe you start to bend your knees. So drawing your knees in or keeping your feet on the ground. If you'd like to, you can roll over onto your side. And then we'll just start to make our way up. So just take your time. When you're ready, we'll just find a comfortable seat. And bring the palms together in front of your heart. So just leaving a gap, signifying an openness in your heart. So thank you so much for coming along and practicing with me this morning. I hope you enjoyed the Yin Yang practice that we did. Namaste. Okay, thank you very much. I'll stop the recording and then you can unmute yourself.